Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making use of 3 years of Ankara prints. I have this button that I made. I have about 7 buttons. Then I have doe face half yard. Let's get into it. Guys, I'll fold this Ankara into 4. I'm cutting the front and the back. The measurement I need on this clothes is only 2 measurements, which is the length and the biggest part of the body. If the bust is the biggest, we will use the bust. If the hip is the biggest, we use. So in this, my client, the hip is the biggest, so the hip is 44. 44 divided by 4, 11. Mark the 11 here. For that print on the shoulder, inches. If you want yours to be more wider, you can add 8 inches. So for the sleeve, what I have here is only remaining about 5 inches. So I will leave this one for the sleeve, but I will use the doe face to complete the length. After that, I will mark the neck. I'm using 3 for the wideness. I'm just using 1.5 inch on the back. For the front is V-neck. I'm using 7 inches. I've finished marking the V-neck of the length is 42 plus 2 inches for hemming allowance. I'll have 44 inches. I'll mark 2 inches. I will replace it with the doe face. So after marking it, I will blend it with this V-neck. Like, I will blend it like so. I want to mark the round sleeve. Round sleeve that I want is 10 inches for the plate, and here is the sleeve. So what I will do now is to connect it. So this is the sleeve, this is the sleeve, and this is her nipple. But from this, I'll just make a curve like so. So this is her nipple. Then I will roll this one down. I'm cutting together with this pocket. So from the shoulder, I will mark 18 inches. From that 18 inches, I'll mark the wideness of the pocket, which is 7. I will make something like this. Now I'll cut. The next thing I will do now, I will remove the back to cut this V-neck on the front. I will move over to my ironing table. Then I will iron that 6 inches that I added. I'll just indicate 6 inches from the front to the back. I will iron it flat, and I will bring. I've already finished marking this using my iron to mark the 6 inches that I add. So this is what I have. I mark it from this back to the front. I use iron to iron it. You need to mark 2 inches for the print on the shoulder, so you can actually make the print to be 4 inches, 3 inches wide, depending on how you want it or your client want it. And if you want yours to be more wider, that place that I add 6 inches, you can make it 8 inches. your hip divided by 4 plus 8 inches. Then when you are marking this, you can mark something like 3 inches. But here what I'm marking is 2 inches. I'll mark it from this back side to the front side. So after finishing marking the 2 inches, I'll go ahead and connect the line. So I've finished marking the 2 inches. I'll move on over to my sewing machine, then I will stitch this side. So I'll go ahead and stitch it on my sewing machine. Mind you that this is the front. I'm sewing it on the front. This is the back. So guys, I finished sewing the 2 inches. This is what I have. This that I stitched from the back to the front, and our gown is already coming together. Inches that I stitched. So the next is for me to replace this 2 inches that I removed on the front. I will replace it using my doll face. But first of all, I want to measure round this to know the length that I will cut. So I'll start from this down side of the gown. I'll start measuring it. What I have is 97 inches, but I'll cut 100 inches. I'll trim the excess. For the doll face, I've already cut out the 100 inches that I want, and if I open it like this, what I have is 5 inches. If I fold it, I will have about 2.5 inches. It's to measure around the neck midpoint. I'll just match this side together like so. I'll match this side. I will not share like this. This is where the V-neck stop. So I will measure from this back side to this V-neck. What I have is 11 inches. Doll face, I will mark this place to be the midpoint. This place that I stitch, it will be my midpoint. $11 inches that I got from the main fold. So after finish marking this 11 inches, from this 11 inches, I will stitch here down, get the midpoint. As you can see, I make sure that I iron it for me to get the midpoint. What I will do now is I will head over to my sewing machine and I will stitch from this place that I iron the midpoint. I will stitch it down, then joining, stitching down 2 inches on the middle. This is what I have. This is what will replace that 2 inches that I removed on the front. I had to sew like 2 inches on the sleeve. So this doll face on this middle point. What I will do, this midpoint, I will place it on this side, on the middle neck. The middle neck, I'll place it like this, and I will stitch from this side to the end of the gown, and I will on the main material. And this is what I have. The next I will do now is for me to join this side. Then I will stitch with 1 inches from this sleeve. I'll stitch with 1 inches down, bring it, then I'll fold the down side. I've joined the two sides and I've hemmed it down. The next thing I will do now is to place these buttons. I have about 7 buttons, so I will mark something like 4.5 inches. And if you find my video useful, please like, comment and share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Bye.
Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like work, but you must hustle if you want job. You no finish they won't fight us.